Yo guys, what is up? My name is Jeracraft and welcome back to another Minecraft video where today I'm going to be showing you guys step by step how to recreate this awesome Minecraft starter treehouse. Now this treehouse is based on the jungle transformation we did in my last video with some slight changes. It comes equipped with a nether portal, a maxed out enchanting room, compact living quarters, and even a farming plot. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Smash the like button. Why? Well, it was my birthday yesterday, so that could be a plus, right? I don't know. So without further ado, guys, let's begin. Right guys, now the trees are actually much taller than normal, standing at over 45 blocks. So to start off with, you're going to have to find a jungle tree or plant your very own. And with that done, seeing as the trees are so tall, you're going to have to plant a second tree on top of that tree to make them even taller, using of course some grass blocks, some saplings, and some bone meal. Now don't worry too much about the shape and size of your tree at start. You can always make adjustments to the branches and leaves later on. So let's start building the spiral staircase. Starting from the corner of the tree, we're going to continuously place some spruce wood slab in a step formation, placing 2 blocks against the jungle log. Now for the corner, it's slightly different. You need to place 3 blocks and create a sort of 90-degree angle. Now at this stage, it doesn't really matter how tall you decide to build your spiral staircase, but for this design, I'll be placing the spruce wood slab until I'm about 19 blocks in height, which is about 3 loops around the tree. So just make sure you level out the spruce wood slab on the 19th block, and then you can continue by building the first platform using some spruce wood blocks. Just create a simple rectangle and actually make sure to remove some of the leaves and branches that might get in the way of your build. But just make sure to also blend it in as well. You don't want to get rid of all the leaves. You might want to add some extra branches later on to make it more decorative. Now using some spruce wood stairs, just make your way right around the edge to create the first balcony. With that done, grab some spruce wood fence and obviously create some sort of railing so you don't fall off the tree and kill yourself. Please. Be careful. And once you do that, just grab some ladder and place 5 blocks right up against the tree on the left hand side. I actually really like this design. Somehow the tree that we planted fits perfectly with the spiral staircase. Now you might not actually be as lucky, so as I said, make adjustments. I highly recommend that you actually add a branch underneath each platform. This will make it seem like the platform has a bit of extra support. Right guys, so moving on to the next platform. Again, we're going to use some spruce wood slab and place 1 block about halfway up the second ladder. But again, you don't necessarily have to copy this platform just like I'm doing. You guys have to use your initiative and sort of work with the tree you have available. This design, for example, has a branch right here when the original design doesn't. But this doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get rid of the branch. I'm going to try and work with it instead. So again, I'm going to grab some spruce wood stairs and place them right around the edge of this platform. Once I reach the front face, which is right about here, we're going to stop because this is where the suspension bridge is going to continue off to the next tree. So right here in the corner, we're going to continue placing the step formation, creating a spiral staircase once again up to the next level. So let's end that off right about here. Go back to the platform. Let's grab some spruce wood fence and just place them right around this edge. So just to finish off, get rid of some of the leaves and I'm going to add some fence, make sure it joins up to the branch and then actually add a bit of extra storage. Now going back to the spiral staircase, we're going to continue placing the spruce wood slab right up to the top of the tree so we can build the entrance into the enchanting room. Now you're going to notice I'm constantly removing and placing jungle leaves until I have a clear access up the staircase. It's actually a very important aspect of this build to have the leaves blend in nicely to the rest of the treehouse. Right then, so again, we need to build the staircase right up to the top of the tree until we're practically right under the jungle leaves, which again will slowly dissipate, so you might have to add some extra leaves later on. So once you guys make it to the top of the tree, you're going to notice I've removed a layer of leaves, giving you just enough space to fit through and sort of hide away in this tree. I kind of like the look of this. So we're gonna just finish off by grabbing some ladder and placing a ladder right up to the top of the tree. You might have to replace the leaves for some log. So again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That gives you access to the top and to the enchanting room hut, which we're gonna build in just a second. Let me just finish this off by adding some spruce wood fence, and I guess this can join up nicely on its side here. 1, 2, and 3, and that is about good enough. Right guys, now the enchanting room is relatively easy to build. It's a very simple design, a nice hut right at the top of the tree. All you have to do is make sure that the ladder entrance into the enchanting room is right in the corner of the room. This way, this will not get in the way of any of the interior design, right? So let's just finish off by adding 3 layers of bookshelf in a sort of box formation. And then to build the actual hut, we're going to start with some spruce wood stairs, and I believe we have to place them on the first layer of bookshelf. Just continue, they should all join up together nicely, and once you finish placing all the spruce wood stair blocks right around the enchanting room, the next step is also relatively simple. Just grab some spruce wood fence and place 2 blocks on top of every single stair block. Right guys, now the roof of the enchanting room hut can be a bit more complicated, but I wouldn't worry too much, seeing as we're gonna pretty much cover most of this using some jungle leaves. We're gonna be building the roof using some dark oak wood planks, and we're gonna start with some full blocks, just placing them in front of the bookshelf. Now obviously it's going to be a bit hard for me to explain to you guys step by step how to build this, so I guess you guys can just copy what I'm doing or even elaborate and build your very own design. The idea is just to create a circular hut shape using a combination of dark oak wood blocks. The idea for this video really is to give you guys a base concept that you can use to expand on your treehouse and build much more elaborate designs. Now you don't necessarily have to take this next step, but once you finish the roof of the enchanting room and you're relatively happy with it, you can go ahead and decorate it further by adding some jungle leaves. Right guys, so moving on to the second tree, be aware that the gap between both trees is 18 blocks to be exact. So once again, you need to plant a second tree, and like we did previously, we need to make the tree taller by again planting another tree. All you guys need to make sure is that the second tree is just as tall as the first one. Right guys, so now we can move on to building the suspension bridge. As from the second platform, we're going to be placing spruce wood slab in lots of 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go down a step, and again 1, 2, and 3. That's going to be the center point of the suspension bridge. Just make sure to fix any full blocks and replace them for just spruce wood slab. Again, we're going to go up now, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Fix up the corner just like that. And one last time, a step, 1, 2, and 3. So once again, we need to repeat this process by giving access from the spiral staircase. Smack in the center, that's 2, 1, 2, and 3. And just simply continue placing the spruce wood slab up until you reach the other side. You can finish the suspension bridge by connecting both bridges using some spruce wood fence. So I definitely need to get rid of some of these trees if we are going to build the next platform, which actually has space for the nether portal. Using some spruce wood slab, we're going to place 4 blocks across, and it should overlap with the suspension bridge. Now this is as easy as it gets, guys, building a 4-block wide square platform with cut corners just to make it seem a slight bit more circular. You can finish it off by adding some spruce wood fence right around the edge. For this project, I really wanted a small sense of adventure by just trying to add several bridges, staircases, and platforms. Just make sure that your platform is symmetrical, because I clearly miscalculated here, but this should give you just enough space to fit the nether portal, which isn't exactly as appealing, especially with those black obsidian blocks. So try and integrate the portal into the treehouse by decorating it with leaves and vines. Right guys, so next up we're going to be building the small patch of farmland. The next platform is slightly different, but again it's relatively simple and easy to build. We're going to grab some spruce wood slab, bring it up against the jungle tree, and then using some dirt we're going to be placing some patches. That's 4 blocks on one side, 4 blocks on the other. Just make sure that when you're placing the dirt against the tree, you go 3 blocks outwards. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, back to 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back to 4. And you're just simply creating a small circular patch of farmland. Once that's done, all you have to do is grab some spruce wood stairs, which I do not have in my inventory. I should have come prepared, but just go right around the edge, placing them right up against the dirt blocks. So once again, just finish off your platform, making sure that it is symmetrical, and finish off the farm by adding some fence around the edge and filling everything in with whatever kind of crops you need to survive in the jungle. So now we can finally move on to building the actual survival house. It's a very small and compact build, but you can always expand on its size. Start with a ladder which is 8 blocks tall, and once again build a platform which is 4 blocks wide. Nothing complicated, just a simple square design. Once that's done, just go around the edge using some spruce wood fence. So now let's start placing the pillars for the house. Just a block away from the fence in the corner, we're going to place 5 blocks of jungle log. So again, a block away from the fence, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And do the same thing for each corner. Now, I promise you guys, the first person to give me the correct answer to the amount of times I've said platform in this video, I will reply to your comment. Any question, I've got the answer. So you can now move on to building the walls for the treehouse. You can create some really cool designs by placing stair blocks in different directions and actually create some windows by doing so. Just make sure to place some cobblestone on the back wall so that we can later on build the quirky looking chimney. Then move on to the left hand side of the treehouse, finish the wall by replicating the same design as the right hand side, and for the front of the house I decided to leave this completely open for easy access. But again, this is totally up to you guys. So then we can move on to building the roof. I'll be using some dark oak wood stairs to create a simple triangle which should join up perfectly in the center. Somehow this tree is also at a perfect height, so I won't have to make many changes at this point. Now once you have the outline of the roof complete, the rest should come together with ease, just having to fill in the remaining space using the dark oak wood stairs. Just make sure to have the chimney pass through the ceiling of the treehouse. Now use some dark oak wood slab and place them across the top edge of the first floor. Then finish the second floor wall by using the same technique as I used previously, using a combination of spruce wood planks and stair blocks. And obviously don't forget to do the other side of the treehouse as well. As for the chimney, use a combination of cobblestone full blocks and stair blocks for a quirky, unique kind of style, even though a fireplace in a treehouse is destined to be a bit of a disaster, so try and handle with care. Either way, I'm placing a furnace for this build as opposed to using an actual physical fire. As an additional feature, you can also throw in a simple, nice flag to mark your territory. I've used a combination of green and brown wool to match the colors of the build, but of course you can choose any color you guys prefer. Well, it looks like all that's left to do now is simply add some extra support under the house so it doesn't look too overwhelming. Just use a combination of spruce wood slab and spruce wood stairs to finish this off. Now as for the interior design, it's pretty much up to your imagination and personal needs, pretty much. It is a relatively small build, so there isn't much you can do, but even though there's a lack of space, I still really like this kind of approach. Anyway guys, I really hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. What a way to end the video. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Jeracraft, over and out.